So you guys can see everything very perfectly, but now, in the last class I was trying to explain how to majorly one of the major things I talked about in the last class was trying to explain how to use all of this ID and classes and all of those stuffs you get. So that was in this html_video.html, this file here. So we used it to also explain the CSS format, the whole syntax, the way they write CSS codes. You get, talked about the CSS selectors and how to use them. So I'm gonna create another HTML file and give it a name. Let's call it CSS. Let's call it CSS. Let's call it CSS class.html. Now in this CSS class, we're going to create its own CSS file, which we are going to, you know what, let's leave it. No need of creating another CSS file. So I've actually explained to you guys how to do external CSS and internal CSS bar. So since what we are going to be doing is going to be more of single page something, this is going to be more of a single page stuff. We are going to just be styling our CSS at the top, that is at the header. So I'm going to write my boilerplate over here, and come over here, then come to my header and put in my CSS style. Okay. So now there are several things you need to learn. I've talked about how to use fonts in CSS. That is how we can work on the CSS fonts and all of those stuff. So yeah, amazing. I've talked about how to work with the CSS fonts, where we can use the normal styling, but we can give it a class name of text, then come over to this place, to the style, and say dot text, the text, let's give it a class name of let's give it a CSS property of anything we want. We can actually give it those style of styling that we like, and we can say we can give it a color of, I don't know, I feel like I'm even repeating myself right now. I should skip all of this, but what do you guys think? Should I skip it or should I leave it? So, Vivian, what do you think? Should I skip it?
You can continue, at least the class continue, just like, not like you not be trying to issue, but just for it out,
Okay. So I can say like my CSS color, refresh. I can use the color of anything I like blue. Then refresh it, we'll have a blue color over here. Same thing goes if I do the font. I can give it like a font. Okay, so I can be like font family. With other handwriting, I still like using sans serif. It gives that kind of popping kind of font feeling. So sans serif, we can always increase the font size. I can always increase the font size to whatever I like. So let's say 20. And it shortens it. So let's make it bigger. We'll do something. We can always use another thing. We can say text decoration. And still say text decoration. We can make our text decoration to be underlined. Comes here, it will be underlined. Now notice that I made this underline, but it's not a link. You see what I mean, ba? So you can actually like make it a link, and you can actually like design a text and make it look like a link, but it's not actually like a link. So this H1 element is not actually a link, so it's just a normal text, normal H1 text. So by default the text decoration is none. So but if it's actually a link, you have to set the text decoration to be long. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is you can actually use another different format for this text decoration. Whenever you type it, if you want to actually like see what I mean, whenever you are done typing this text decoration, you'll find that your VS Code will give you alternatives. You get, so it can give it like a type of way it wants it to be. You can even see a line through, and once you use line through, you see a stroke across it. You get, so it depends on you and what you want to do. And there are so many CSS properties that even for a property it might have a value that is more, when I say that is many. Yeah, so these are properties value. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about, I've mentioned, we've talked about something about background color.
But I don't know something.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, why are you using this internal? Yes, 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 yes.
If you listen when I was saying like in the beginning of the class, I actually didn't want to like. The reason I made it this way so I can you be seeing my CSS code. I won't be switching between another CSS and another CSS. So that was actually the reason I said it earlier that I purposely used internal CSS not to be switching back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Okay.
So you can always use a background color. Say for example, I create a div over here. I say the div is like a kind of container. In that div, I can place in maybe give it an image. So I can say let's give it a text first. So a div will have a text format. So we can say h1 tag. Well, now you can give it like say we want to do a news blog, let's give it a news blog. So a news blog always starts with a header first. So h1 you can give it breaking news. That breaking news, we can place an image. Okay, so we can call it an image, or give it an image. The source. So source of the image will be like let me find something. Let me find a cool image. Random breaking news. Okay, so that image. So I'm gonna download the image. I'll copy the image link. Let me copy the image link, image address. So come here. Before I paste it, I'm just gonna give it an alternative name. So I can be like breaking news. Then it's over here. Then after pasting it, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm clean this up. Come here, refresh it. We have breaking news first. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is also to like have a bunch of dummy text under the whole something. So I can do like dummy text. Let's give it a paragraph and give it a bunch of dummy text. Or 10. Let's give it 10. Okay. Now after Lorem 10, we can have like a button. Now I don't want to use the generic type of button, so I will also have to like design our own button. So I can say a button will be a link, and you can even give it let's call it read more. Now if you look at this way, I'm gonna clean up this. Now in this now, what we are going to do is we can come and give this class class name. We can give our container a class name of, let's call it blog. Then we can give this another class name of title. The reason, let me do a recap. The reason I'm doing this is so I can be able to like show you different things concerning styling. Yeah, so I'm gonna be fast because we already something we must have thought about already. So now I can call it title. I will give this blog underscore title. Then come here and give this image a class name. Then blog underscore image. And come over here. Class blog underscore dummy text. And come here and give this blog underscore button. Last name blog underscore button. Now when we come over to this style stuff, now we come here to this style, you actually start styling the whole thing. Now we can give this whole container. Now if you look at this thing now, the reason I'm calling it a container is because there is now a box that contains all of these things. All of these things is now being contained inside the box, inside the div box. Okay, so since all of them is inside the div box, I can actually give this div here a background color. Okay, I can come here and say dots blog. Okay, then open it up and say like background color. Background color can be black. When you refresh it, you notice that it will have a background color of black. Or we can give it a background color of yellow. Yes, yellow is quite better. So the whole of this box now has this yellow background. You can even see that it's encroaching into almost all of them. Yeah. If you don't want to give it a background color, you can give it a background image. You can give it a background image. So I can say for background image, how do we do that? URL bar. In URL, I can say I want the background image to be andy.png. I should refresh this. The background image will change. You get? And remember, the reason why this thing, the reason why this is not showing, the reason why this is not showing yellow anymore is because codes are actually run line by line. Okay, so since codes are run by line, there's no need of showing there's no need of showing this yellow. Okay, so the next background image it is going to detect will now be the one under. So you guys are following, bar. Christopher, what about you?
This image you put now,
Yeah.
is it already on your profile or you just gave it a link to go and get it from Google?
It's already on my folder, the code file. You get. But the breaking news on was just a link.
Yeah, that's breaking news on the SRC. That one is source. This one is the one that went to Play Store. And I went to Google to get it.
Yes.
Like the link.
Yes.
And then, okay.
Now, you can actually use something called say for example now, look at this image, the background image. You've seen the background image, but this Android background image. I don't know if you guys can see it. Now, you can actually set that image to be like a kind of in the center of all of these things. Okay, you can set it to be in the center. Now, say for example, I come here and I use background image. I said I want my not background position. I say I want it to be, and say let's call it center. Now I've specified that this image should not be in the center. You get? So how we want that image to be, that background image, how the background image to be positioned is left for us. So you can actually set how you want it to be. Okay, so as another option to e.g. you can set the way that image is going to be set. If I set it to scroll or fixed, say for example, if I set it to fixed, if I am moving this, I'm going to zoom into this. If I am moving this website and scrolling, you find out that Android is not moving. It's just in one place. But if I should set this same background, the background attachment to scroll, and I refresh this should wait to calm down. It's not supposed to. Scroll. So when I set this to scroll and I swipe down, you notice that the image is actually the background image is actually moving with the rest. You get? But when I set it to fixed, it's more like saying that the image shouldn't even move at all. You get? And I come here and I refresh. If you now notice that it's just the the elements are moving, but the image actually is just there. It's not moving anywhere. So you can actually like set your background like that. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. I don't know, you might have come across some website whereby where you want to scroll, you find out that your background is not even moving, it's just you scrolling that is scrolling. I don't know, you guys have come across that, huh?
Network is messing up. Network is messing up somehow.
Christopher, what about you? So again, you actually like style these header tags. Okay, so I can say the header is blog title, so I can say blog title. So in this blog title, we have to like give this title like a nice name, a better name. So, or what I call it, a better styling. So I can say the title should be let's increase the font. Font size should be 30. And give it a font family again. Sounds. Give it a font width of 800. Thickness. Font weight is more like making something thick. So after that, let's just proceed on to the next. So for the image, we can call, I can just copy this instead of typing it. Paste. For the image, you can give it anything we like, give it a dimension we like, and all of those stuff. So just it's up to you. It's up to you to give it the type of image you want it to be, the type of dimension. So I can say image is like, let's give it a height of like 200 pixel, a width of like 200. We should refresh it. It has reduced. Okay. So I'm gonna comment out this background color over here. Control/. I'll comment it out. I want it to be this way. Then after that, the next thing we can work on is this dummy text over here. Now in this dummy text, it's up to you to know which of the font style that you add to it. Maybe you can even give it like a border. So I'm going to use this opportunity and also give it a border and also talk a little bit about border. So let's begin. I can say dummy text. I can say border. I'll give it a border of 1 pixel. Let's say 2 pixel. Give it a solid type and color of black. I like black for this. Black would go well for it. So set it up this stuff like this. Okay, then we can actually like maybe just give the text some fonts. Not increase the size. And after that, the next thing we're going to do is to style this button over here. So we can call this class button. Dot class button. I can say text decoration. Remove the text decoration. Make it none. Then next thing I'm gonna do is like font family. I can say I want the background color be white. Now let's make it black. Then the text color, I want it to be black. I should refresh this. Okay, I want the text color to be white so it will be obviously visible. Then come over here. We can add some padding. So padding, give like some padding around. So give it like 10px. Then I should refresh this. That is something that's come out. Then give it a border radius of 10px. This is what happens whenever you style those kind of when you see those buttons that have curly brackets and all of those stuff, curly edges. You can even give it like a border color. Give a border color of red. Then why is not showing? Maybe I'll just have to give it the thickness. Use this border of px and solid red. Okay, something like this. Now this is more like a basic blog. You get, so I can say before the paragraph tag, I can give it a h1 tag and just give it a random title. I can say the news title will be Nigeria presidential election. So I can come here. Yeah, very well.
Are we going to do the flex and
No, not today. So over to this place, especially this blog, we can actually like add padding. We can add padding to this div over here, which is this. So I can come to this blog area here, then give some padding. You can say I want a padding either on the top or the bottom. Yeah. So I can say padding top. I want the padding to be at the top. So I can say I want the padding of 100 px. For example, it's big. I need to 50 px. And then the top. Then I'll use the padding on the bottom. Then maybe I want to give it a margin. So margin, I give it a margin of now when you use margin will be like trying to like focus more on your outside spaces. You get why padding will be focusing more on your inside spaces. So are you hearing me? You're with me, bro? Are you with me? So you can actually like add padding, and padding will I say more focuses more of like the outer spaces. You get focuses on the outer spaces. Why padding focus on like adding spaces on the inside. So regardless, anyone you choose, you just have to be what I call it creative about the whole thing. Say for example, I can come and first let me give it a border of, let's give it a border color of black. Oh, let me just use the normal border shortcut. 2px, then I can do something now. After adding this border, now I want to explain something. Say for example, after adding this border, if you notice now when I said padding top, the space is on the inside. spaces was added on the inside. But when I use margin, you see spaces on the outside. You get. If I want to do like padding left now, for example, padding left and give it like 20 px, you see that there will be a space from the inside of the left. You get. But if I use margin now to start doing all of this, the spaces will be coming from the outside. I don't know if you get what I mean. So you can do something like this. Let me style this H1 so it should be making sense. So if you want to add padding to most of the projects you're working on, most of the things, just know that you're adding space on the inside. Then when you want to like space from the outside, space style from the outside, be using margin. I don't know if you understand the concept I just explained here right now. Christopher, what about you? What are you guys saying? Hello? So I was saying something about padding. If you can actually remember what I was saying right now. I was saying something about padding, how padding and margin are, in the sense that padding adds spaces on the inside. Yeah, you can actually add spaces on the inside, while margin adds spaces on the outside. So for you to be able to know that, you have to like use this border now. Say if I use this border to be able to explain it better, in the sense that I added a border, a black border here, then decided to do some styling to prove to you that it's actually like margin that is done on the outside. But so
You're talking, man. You're talking now.
yeah,
Just now.
yeah, I'm talking.
What kind of nonsense is this one? Why is actually doing this to me? And then this list of things showing that you're talking, but it's not me that's What did you say?
So you can turn all of them
Can you hear me?
into a single line of code that you can execute.
Okay.
So that would just be it for this padding and all of that. Then remember I mentioned something about width. You get so
Yeah.
you can still use width in your div and all of those stuffs. Width and height, you can still use them. So
Those week there, do we not use it when we're talking about? Yeah, I remember we won like 100% it's been the whole stream by heart.
yes,
That's the one back.
yes. So there is actually another type of width too. You get there's actually another type of width. You can set the there is something called maximum width. That is like the maximum on this width is actually going to like get to get. You can set the maximum width and say the maximum width of this is going to be so and so. Yeah, you can say that the maximum width will be 300 pixels and all of those stuff. So as I said, the maximum width, you find that it shrunk. Yeah, you can set it to be maybe 400 pixel. You get. So it's all up to you. You can decide to shrink it even more, and it will keep on shrinking. Why you can also set your maximum height. Maximum height is like the highest height this thing can ever go. This from the name self, you know that is the highest. So nothing, no browser can change that fact. So I can say maximum height should also be 300 pixels, for example. And once I set it, the container shrinks. You get, once I get it, the container shrinks. So it's all up to you. Know which one you want to choose and which one you don't want to choose. So I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's making sense now.
So is there any question before I try to like delve into something?
very familiar with border and margin stuff.
Now there is something called outline. You get so as there is a CSS property called outline. It's almost like every this thing has a border now, but like what I call it a kind of space outside of the border. So say for example I can give this and say let's say I want an outline for this container to be so and so I can give it like outline width with an outline width of say 5 pixels. So I can give it an outline width of 5 pixels. Then say I also give it like an outline color of red. An outline color of red. Then I can also give it an outline width as the type of width I want. I say I want the outline width to be to 10px. Why is this not reflecting? I wanna know if you love me. I wanna know if you love me.
But there be like they're stopping it from running. Right?
That's what I'm trying to like check and all that. I wanna know. Outline with where would I be if you left me? Figure this out. Oh, try checking on your browser and see if it's running.
My system is off.
Oh.
Just watching.
The system is off. Oh. Oh, Jesus. So, for some reason it's not loading. I don't know why, but maybe it's something I'll figure out later. Let me just give it. Remind me of this thing tomorrow, please. Something is off. I'll just have to like look into it tomorrow.
All these codes now, I know that's thing that used to happen. Like the code is running on like period code will be stopping for one. Maybe you have an issue like that. This padding and margin of it. You like margin and padding the same code. So maybe
has a little bit of interference with it or something. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Let me comment them out.
Or even this background attachment, the fixed and the rest of it. Maybe, but when you do the outline, what was it supposed to do?
It's supposed to work almost like how border works. Except it's deprecated. Okay, so let me just keep it for now and focus on this other one over here. I've talked about text alignment. That's what I talked about. Text decoration. I talked about text alignment. I can say this should go to the center. Let it be here. I can also say this is our dummy text to be text aligned to the left. Nothing will happen because it's not noticeable. Because since they are it's actually almost by default shifted to the left. Then you can actually do a kind of text decoration. A text decoration in the sense that you can make this text to have an underline. So I can say text decoration. I can say wavy. I want to have a text decoration of wavy. When I say wavy is going to have wavy lines under it. For some reason it's still not working. Or block title. The decoration is meant to work. There's decoration style. Oh, sorry, I forgot to. I'm meant to work. There's decoration style. Still the same thing. There's a creation style color. Supposed to.
Something wrong somewhere.
Something is wrong there.
Yeah, just let me start from here.
It's a black, red. Oh, something is wrong somewhere. It's not adding up.
It's supposed to be like an external set. It's supposed to
It's supposed to work very, very well.
It's still CSS. Wait, go back. Go up. Let me see. This time. Don't know. It's still inside this time. Maybe. See, with the literature is like on an external basis.
There's decoration. This decoration style. Still supposed to work now. I think this is something I'll fix tomorrow. I'll have to end it here. Tomorrow we'll continue from the icons and styling of tables and all that.
Okay, no problem.
Alright, so
I
today,
think I'll try one my own but I'll use the star set. Let me see if it will work.
okay. Alright. So, well, good night.
Good night.